somebody dying in silence, somebody don't want to talk, somebody is bottled up, somebody is keeping something he doesn't want to share with people.
Have an issue, let's talk it out. What is it? Say without actually naming the person with your words. Silent treatment looks small, but it can do real damage. Let's hear what the people has to say.
How do I explain this to the Igwe? How?
What does silent treatment mean in a relationship?
I would just say silent treatment is just ghosting.
Okay.
To me, I would say it's a ghosting. Like silent treatment, for instance, when a spouse or a couple, when they have issues, they should be able to sit, talk about it, trash it out. But when they fail to do so, maybe when someone is keeping quiet and not talking and just doing his or her things, or maybe the man or the woman is doing something that they don't want to talk about. I think to me that's silent treatment. And technically that's ghosting. When you ghost someone, you don't want to talk to the person, even when you are seeing the person. Well, I think it's something that we should. It's one of the dilemmas, to be honest. It's actually leading to stigmatizing because some people may decide to keep quiet. The fact that people keep quiet doesn't mean they don't want to talk, but some are doing it deliberately just to spite the other person. I think to me that's
What is the meaning of silent treatment in a relationship?
Silent treatment is when you and your spouse engage in a conflict and the both of you decide to not talk to each other over it. Instead, just keep quiet and ignore each other. That's silent conflict, in my own opinion.
Oh my God.
Mama, I know they hear English. Uh-huh. If we do am for pidgin ba. No wahala, mama. Silence what?
We're very ripe corn.
Silent treatment in a relationship.
Silent treatment in a relationship. It's when you like, in my own understanding. When like your girlfriend or your wife, like you treat her well, maybe if you don't want her to know what you want to do for her, you might do it in a secret way. That is it. That is what I understand. Or let me just say, you want to surprise your wife with a gift now. You don't even have to, to
Loud it.
Yeah.
Do it silently.
Yeah, you just do it silently. That is silent
Surprise.
surprise. Yeah, let's just put it there.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
I think, to me, silent treatment is whereby maybe someone offend you or do something that pisses you off, but you decided to not just talk about it, but just give him attitude also to the person. Like you're not even talking about it. The person does not even know what. The person will not keep questioning themselves, like what did I do, stuff like that. There is a way you can punish someone without even saying anything. Yeah, so that's what I think about silent treatment.
silent treatment is ghosting your partner. Abi? I know they do relationship. I don't just say that.
What is the meaning of silent treatment in a relationship?
To me, silent treatment is more like where you've spoken and maybe your voice has not been heard. You decide to just leave everything and find your peace in yourself.
What is the meaning of silent treatment in a relationship?
To me, it's a form of abuse. You're weaponizing communication. You know fully well that in a relationship, communication is key. So when you take away that, either you don't care or you're weaponizing it. You want to make sure that you hurt your partner. You know what you're doing. Or it could be that either you're weaponizing it or it was weaponized against you growing up or in a previous relationship. And that's how you communicate. That's how you tend to do things. Instead of you to communicate, you shut down. So it could be conscious, or for some people it's unconscious because that's the way they were brought up. Actually, like men, you're told, oh, don't share your emotion. A man should not cry. You shouldn't talk too much. You should be stoic and strong. And then some people internalize that stoicism to be silence. It could be a way that the partner has maybe experienced. So maybe he would have been open, but he tried to be open to his partner, and then his partner didn't make him feel welcome. So he now decided, oh, it's better for me to shut up than to actually talk, because when I was vulnerable with this lady, she used my vulnerability and threw it back at me.
Silent treatment. It is when, let's say, the both parties are having one or two issues. Instead of coming out to communicate and discuss about it and see how they can come to a conclusion, they rather just keep quiet and just look at each other. So there's no communication. That's what it means in a relationship.
I wouldn't say this is what it is in particular because I'm not married yet. But perhaps it is about issue of a party suffering something while the other is not informing her of what is happening. Maybe the marriage is not going as it ought to go, and the other party is not saying what is the issue. So if the party cannot understand what is the issue between the two of them that's leading to the problem in the marriage, then they might have issue in solving the issue that they have. Perhaps that is what you intend.
What is the meaning of silent treatment in a relationship?
Well, to me, sometimes you don't just want to say something, so they'll say silent is just the best answer.
We don't do that here.
You just keep quiet and watch and observe.
All right. What is the meaning of silent treatment in a relationship?
Okay, not giving your partner attention.
Okay.
Yeah, not being there for your partner.
Silent treatment, I would say, is when somebody is like not talking to you. I think that's just a simple explanation. When somebody is just, ignoring you and not talking to you.
What is the meaning of silent treatment in a relationship?
It defines itself. When you mean silent, somebody dying in silence, somebody don't want to talk, somebody is bottled up, somebody is keeping something he doesn't want to share with people. That frustration, joy, happiness, whatever.
Couples can disagree and still be okay. That's where healthy conflict comes in. What is the meaning of healthy conflict in a relationship?
Yeah, healthy conflict is a conflict whereby both parties understood themselves or understand themselves and have a common ground for resolution. It's not a conflict that escalates to or inviting a third party into it. Of course, in every relationship, there's a healthy conflict. You disagree to agree. It's a healthy conflict.
Healthy conflict is when two people in a relationship are annoyed over something, but they are still in love, and still they are angry, but do not let it get too personal to themselves. Help each other in one or two things, but still they are angry.
Yeah, any conflict. I think to me, for instance, if I want my woman to do something and she's not doing it, or I don't know the best way to actually explain it because I'm not in a relationship actually.
When I look at you, one would think you are mature.
So, but I think if the person out of the two wants someone to do something and the person is not doing it, it can be a conflict. Not because the person is doing something bad, but for instance, the way you are doing this thing, I don't like it. Let's do it this way, and the person is not compromising or concurring to what other person. I think that's
Healthy conflict in a relationship is when, like, I don't know, I don't like, to be honest with you, I don't understand the word healthy conflict.
Two words are more like opposite, healthy and conflict. Conflict on its own, it's something that is not healthy. So healthy conflict is like good, bad. But healthy conflict is basically you air out your things to the other person. You communicate. It could be loud, it could be slow, it could be quiet. But it's about, we have an issue. Let's talk it out. What is it? Say without actually maiming the person with your words. Just express yourself. Say what you have to say. But without actually knowing fully well that words hurt. Sometimes even deeper than the stick. Because sometimes you would say something and then 2 years later, the person could just be taking a look. You understand? And then he will just remember that thing that person said to him 2 years ago, I want to die. So,
What is the meaning of healthy conflict in a relationship?
like having
disagreements and letting each other know that yes, we are having a problem, instead of keeping quiet, instead of following the route of keeping quiet. Instead they communicate their feelings, and then maybe one of them disagrees, and then they start having this back and forth and all that. At least they are talking about their problems, and what they're going through in their relationship. So that's what's called healthy. It's healthy. Healthy conflict.
Yes.
That might literally it will mean that there is conflict between the couples, but the conflict that is between them is not one that can affect the marriage. Though there is conflict that can be understood as normal conflict that can exist between couples, maybe as a result of misunderstanding, but it doesn't affect the relationship from continuity.
What is the meaning of healthy conflicts in relationship?
Healthy. Based on my own understanding, I would say healthy conflict is when there's small misunderstanding, but it's not in a violent way. It's just a very it's conflict that can be easily resolved.
I would say healthy conflict is when the both of you are having issues and you sort things out, talk about it.
Healthy conflict is I would say like harmless, like friendly fight. You understand? Like a fight that is harmless, just friendly fight.
How do I explain this to the Igwe?
Silent treatment is when someone ignore you on purpose just to punish you, control you, or to avoid a tough conversation. Don't normalize it. Healthy conflicts is a disagreement handled with respect, listening, and problem solving, not insults, threats, or shutdown. Stay respectful. If you've got a different perspective, let's hear it. Comment below and follow us across all social media platforms. Thank you.